It's crunch time in the Champions League. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today this is my Champions League quarter-final first leg predictions. 8 teams remain and we are getting ever so closer to finding out who will be this year's Champions League winner. And we've got 4 very good ties to look forward to. So make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay, so we kickstart the quarterfinals with a massive game at the Bernabeu, where it is Real Madrid taking on Bayern Munich. Of course, we are repping this season's Bayern Munich home shirt. I mean, can Bayern go through? We'll have to find out. This should be a brilliant game. This game is always fantastic when these two face each other. Obviously, there's been so many memories when Real Madrid and Bayern Munich have faced each other. But let's see what happens this time around. Of course, the winner will face PSG or Liverpool in the semi-final. And of course, the winner will face Barca, Atleti, Sporting or Arsenal in the final on May the 30th. But overall, you know, this should be a fantastic game. Real Madrid not coming into this great. They actually lost 2-1 against Mallorca on the weekend. Now, I did a live stream for that game. If anyone was there, thank you very much for joining. And yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to sum it up, really. I thought, you know, Mallorca first half, they were quite defensive. They didn't really do much. Real Madrid were probably the better team in the first half. They had some good chances. Kylian Mbappe in particular had some really good opportunities for Real Madrid. But then second half, I thought Mallorca were a lot better. Obviously, they actually did go 1-0 up before half-time out of nowhere. But I thought second half, Mallorca were in the game. But then obviously, I mean, literally, as I ended the stream, I think literally a couple of minutes later, Trent Alexander-Arnold put a ball into the box. And then Militao made it 1-1. But then, of course, Madrid conceded late on through Vedat Muriqi. But it wasn't the greatest performance for Real Madrid. And obviously, losing that game, it's not good preparation coming into this game. I mean, as for Bayern, they were involved in a crazy game, really. They won 3-2 away at Freiburg in the Bundesliga, obviously extending their gap at the top of the Bundesliga. I mean, let's be honest, Bayern have probably won that league. They probably all but won the league ages ago. But they were 2-0 down in that game against Freiburg. I was like, oh, what's going on here? But obviously they came back and won 3-2. 2 goals for I can't remember who scored. I can't remember who it was now. Who got the 2 goals? I'll have a look quickly. Who was it? Can't remember now. It was. Who was it? It was Tom Bischoff who got 2 goals. He made it 2-1 in the 81st minute. Scored in the 92nd minute. And then the youngster, Lennon Carl, won it with a tap-in the 99th minute. So a crazy game there. And I mean, Bayern looks like they kind of dominated that game as well. 12, not 12, that's Freiburg. 19 shots, 9 on target, 68% possession. Statistic-wise, it looks like Bayern kind of dominated that game, really. And like I said, they're probably going to go on and win the Bundesliga. They're, 9 points ahead of Dortmund in second. They're actually 20 points ahead of RB Leipzig and Stuttgart, who are 3rd and 4th, respectively. So yeah, but I mean, Bayern can probably say they've won the league, really, because I can't see them bottling it. So, I mean, that means all focus is on this. Can Bayern go on and win their first Champions League since 2020? Of course, they beat PSG in that final behind closed doors at the Estadio de Luz. I think the final was played at. It's where the final was played at, I think. I think that's where it was anyway. But like I said, this should be a very good game. Obviously, the first leg tonight at the Bernabeu. I think Real Madrid have got to try and get a win. I mean, I'm just kind of stating the obvious, aren't I? Real Madrid have to win this game, really, because Bayern at the Allianz Arena are a different team. I mean, Bayern, home and away, in any competition, whether it's the Bundesliga, this, or the DFB Pokal, they are just an unbelievable team. They can turn up against anyone. And I think if Real Madrid, over 2 legs, can beat Bayern Munich and perform very well against them, I can't see why Bayern can't go on to win this. But Real Madrid knows what it takes to win the Champions League. They've done it so many times. They've won it 15 times, for God's sake. And, you know, they just know what it takes. Real Madrid have that experience. They know what it takes to win this. Bayern don't really have that experience, even though they have won it, is what, 6 or 7 times. I'm not too sure how many times they've won. I think it's the 6. I'm not too sure. I mean, I think if they win it this year, I think it might be their 7th. But I think coming into this, Bayern probably are the better team at the moment. Obviously, it didn't start too great for Alvaro Arbeloa at Real Madrid. Obviously, getting knocked out by a second division team in Albacete in the Copa del Rey. But if you look, I mean, if we look at Real Madrid recently, obviously taking away the Mallorca game, which they lost on the weekend, they've been doing decent. To be fair, so they won the Madrid derby before the international break 3-2. They beat Manchester City in the round of 16, which no one was really expecting that, to be fair. So fair play to Madrid. And then in the league, they beat Elche 4-1. They beat Celta Vigo 2-1. They beat Benfica in the playoffs. Beat Sociedad 4-1. So, I mean, really, ever since his first game, his first game was the Albacete game, I think. And ever since then, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's got 13 wins since he's came in, and I'm not sure how many games it is. So he's done a fairly decent job, to be fair. But this will be a big test for him because of how good Bayern Munich are. And you could say it's a big test for Vincent Kompany as well. Because you got to remember, literally a couple of years ago, this guy was managing Burnley in the Championship. And now he's going to be coming up against Real Madrid with players like Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., etc. I mean, the good news for Bayern, it looks like Harry Kane is going to be fit tonight. He wasn't in the squad on the weekend against Freiburg, but it looks like he is in the squad tonight. Whether he'll start Harry Kane, we'll have to find out. I mean, I think Bayern would love him to start because he has been unbelievable this year. I mean, funny enough, actually, I've actually met Harry Kane, and he's a lovely bloke. But this season for Harry Kane has probably been the best season he's ever had. He's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, Mbappe as well, up front for Real Madrid. He's been very good this season for Real Madrid, well, with Real Madrid, and for France as well. And for France as well. I mean, I remember he scored that goal against Brazil during the international break for France. It was a lovely goal, a little chip over. I think it was Ederson who was in goal for Brazil. I'm not too sure. But this will be a very good game. Like I said, Real Madrid at home. They've got to try to take a result to the Allianz Arena if they can. Bayern, if they can get a win, brilliant. They'll have the advantage in the second leg. But I can see this going either way, to be honest. So I'm going to sit on the fence and go with a draw. So my prediction is Real Madrid 2, Bayern Munich 2. Okay, the next game is from Lisbon, where it is Sporting Club de Portugal taking on Arsenal. Now, this should be, a very good game. Sporting, I think they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the first time in their history. I think they're the first Portuguese team to get to the quarterfinals since, I think, Porto were the last team to get to the quarters. I'm not sure what year Porto got there, but I think it was Porto who were the last Portuguese team to get to the quarters of the Champions League. So well done to Sporting, first of all. And what a comeback it was. The only team in the round of 16 to complete the remontada. They were 3-0 down against Bodo Glimt, in the first leg. They were 3-0 down against Bodo Glimt in the first leg. I thought Bodo would have get the job done, but I did watch the second leg, and from the first whistle, Sporting were at them. They had some really good chances early on, and you were like, a goal's coming, a goal is coming, and the first goal did come for Sporting. I'll just get the game up quickly. They did get that first goal, Sporting, in the 34th minute. Inacio, I think it was a header. And then I think after Inacio made it 1-0, I think you just knew it was going to be quite a long evening for Bodo Glimt. And it was. Obviously, they pulled it back to 3-0. Sporting got to extra time, got 2 goals in extra time, got the job done. And now Sporting are here against Arsenal. And obviously, Arsenal, I mean, as funny as it is, because I'm a Spurs fan, what is going on with them? They were all saying about the quadruple before the international break. Lost the Carabao Cup final to Manchester City. 1 trophy gone. Then they were like, oh, don't worry, lads, we're going to win the treble. They got knocked out by Southampton in the FA Cup. Now, first of all, fair play to Southampton. I didn't watch the game. But they played very well against Arsenal. So fair play to them. They're actually playing tonight, I think, Southampton against Wrexham in the Championship. Big game that is, by the way. But fair play to Southampton for beating Arsenal. But for Arsenal overall, the last 2 games have been an absolute disaster. I mean, the second half in the Carabao Cup final against Manchester City, Man City were all over him in that second half. And like I said, I didn't watch the game against Southampton, but from watching the highlights, Southampton deserved to beat them because they played brilliant. That Leo Cienza for Southampton looked really good, and Arsenal just looked really poor. And they're away to Sporting tonight, and Sporting, I don't think, have lost a game at home in the Champions League this season. And I think they've only been beaten once in the League of Portugal. And that was, I think, back in August by Porto. So Sporting are a very difficult team to play against. Loads of people will expect Arsenal to get the job done, but I wouldn't write off Sporting whatsoever. They're a very good team. They're a tough team to face, and they've got some good players in their side. They've got the Colombian striker Luis Diaz, who I think has got 24 goals in 25 games in the League of Portugal. I'm not sure how many goals he's got in the Champions League. You've got Morten Hjulmand, the Danish captain, in the midfield. They've got Trincao out wide. They've got Inacio at the back. And they are a good side, Sporting. And they will be 100% feeling confident. They will have seen Arsenal's last 2 results. And if we just look at some of Sporting's results recently, if this laptop loads, here we go. So you got a 4-2 win on the weekend against Santa Clara. They won 4-1 against Alverca. Again, apologies if I do pronounce some of these teams wrong. You got 5-0 in the second leg against Bodo Glimt, 2-2 against Braga, 1-0 against Porto. I mean, recently as well, look at that. So the last, 3 games, they got 4-8. Let's do the maths. 1, 2, 3. They've scored 13 goals in their last 3 games, and they've only conceded 3. So, like I said, they're a team not to be messed with, Sporting. I think Arsenal's confidence will be low. They've lost the Carabao Cup final. They've been dumped out the FA Cup by Southampton, and they're facing a Sporting side who are unbelievable. Very good side. 13 goals in 3 games, only 3 conceded. In all honesty, I'm going to say it. Call me biased, Arsenal fans. I think Sporting are going to win, but I still think Arsenal will be in the tie. I think if Sporting lead by 2 or 3 goals, then Arsenal are in trouble. But prediction, 2-1 Sporting. You heard it here first. Okay, next up is Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, an all-Spanish tie in the Champions League. Now, funny enough, these two actually played each other on the weekend in La Liga. Again, I did a live watch on with it with my friend Alex. So again, if there was any of you guys watching this video who were watching that live stream, thank you very much for joining. I really do appreciate it. But from watching that game, you know, it was an okay game, to be fair. Obviously, Atletico Madrid took the lead, a through ball in behind that Barcelona defence to Giuliano Simeone, who scored to make it 1-0 to Atleti. Obviously, Barca made it 1-1, I think, just before half-time. A brilliant goal, to be fair, from Marcus Rashford. Rashford, by the way, been unbelievable recently. Did really well during the international break with England. And, of course, doing well at the minute for Barcelona. Hold on, let me take a drink. And doing really well at the moment with Barcelona. Of course, he made it 1-1. And then second half, Barca were probably the better team in the second half. Obviously, Atleti got that red card for Gonzalez. I mean, I thought the one on Gerard Martin, I thought should have been a red card as well. In my opinion, I don't really know why that got overturned, to be honest, because Barca won it late on with a goal, a bit of a lucky goal, really, from Robert Lewandowski. And, yeah, I mean, obviously, Atleti will be wanting a bit of revenge after losing to Barca on the weekend. But also, as well, they've already faced Barcelona and Atletico Madrid in a 2-legged tie this season. That was back in the Copa del Rey. The first leg was at the Wanda Metropolitano, and Atletico absolutely battered Barcelona 4-0. Obviously, Simeone doing what he does best, parking the bus. Barca did win 3-0 in the second leg. Obviously, it wasn't enough. Atleti going through to the final. Who are they actually playing in the final? Atletico Madrid. Should we have a look? Who are they playing? Oh, they're playing Sociedad on April the 18th. So it's actually next Saturday, funny enough. The Copa del Rey final. I might have to do a stream for that, maybe. Who wants to stream for the Copa del Rey final? Let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, anyway, back to this game. Obviously, the first leg of this Champions League tie is at the Nou Camp. And, you know, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how Simeone approaches this game. Is this team just going to sit back, try maybe shit out, I don't know, maybe a 1-0 win, take a lead back to the Metropolitano, or will he go for it? Because I don't really know what to expect from Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid in this game. I really don't know what to expect from them. Barca, obviously, they're going to go for it. They're going to play that high line, which I said it for ages. I keep on saying it. That's the only criticism I have with Barcelona. It's this high line. It just doesn't work for me. You know, they get found out too many times. I mean, the Simeone goal on the weekend, a ball in behind that high line, and also they scored from it. And I think with the Atleti attackers, with Griezmann, Alvarez, etc., they can easily get behind that Barca defence. So they might score a few goals, Atleti, but can they keep Barca out? Is the question. I just don't know, because we all know the quality that Barcelona have going forward. They've got Lamine Yamal, they've got Lewandowski, they've got Rafinha, they've got amazing players in their team. But can Atleti stop him? I just don't know. I mean, they parked the bus in the second leg of that Copa del Rey and they conceded 3 goals. And they nearly bottled it, Atletico Madrid, but they didn't in the end. So I think for this game, obviously Barca, they need to take the home advantage into account, because if they lose this game, then they're probably in a bit of big trouble going into the second leg on April the 14th at the Metropolitano. But in the end, I'm going to go with a high-scoring game. I think Barca will get the job done, but it's going to be a tight game. 1 goal in it, or a 1-goal like margin. So yeah, my prediction: Barcelona 3, Atletico Madrid 2. Okay, and the final game is from the Parc des Princes, where it is Paris Saint-Germain taking on Liverpool. Now, Liverpool, they got absolutely battered on the weekend. They lost 4-0 to Manchester City in the FA Cup, and it was a terrible, terrible performance from Liverpool. They were rubbish. Haaland hat-trick. Semenyo getting on the score sheet as well. And like I said, Liverpool were absolutely rubbish. PSG, I think they won 3-1 against Toulouse in the league on the weekend. I mean, the preparation for Liverpool coming into this, you know, considering they got battered 4-0 on the weekend, it's just like, yeah, they are pretty cooked coming into this. You know, they're facing this PSG team, who PSG going forward are an absolute joke. I mean, in the 2 legs against Chelsea, PSG going forward, Chelsea defensively just didn't know how to stop them. Dembele, Doué, Barcola, etc. They're all a joke, and I just, Liverpool defensively, how are they going to stop this PSG attack? I have no idea. I mean, Liverpool, I can't see them winning. They're going out, in my opinion. Spoiler alert, Liverpool are going to get knocked out, in my opinion. They're just poor at the moment. I mean, that game on the weekend at Man City, Liverpool were just absolutely terrible. They were so bad, Liverpool. And, you know, they're coming into this against PSG. And PSG as well, they've somehow got their big title decider game against Lens moved. So after this game for PSG, they've got much more preparation time than Liverpool do for the second leg. I mean, if Liverpool somehow go through, then fair play to him, but I cannot see it happening at all. I think PSG are going to win. So my prediction, I'm going to go PSG 3, Liverpool 1. I think PSG defensively are a bit... So maybe Liverpool could get a goal, maybe from someone like Ekitike or Szoboszlai. But yeah, 3-1 PSG is my prediction. So yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Smash your like, subscribe. See you next time. Goodbye.